Did you see your Mark Main Mullen on why do people from Oklahoma do this to me all the time where people will call me and make fun of me about it? I'm like, dude, I didn't
Well,
say anything.
so let me turn this thing the right way. I mean, how many things do you want to start with today? I've got a hot spot right here. Did I get it? Yeah, I think I got
Yeah.
it. With another bottle of booze, bro. All right. So, Mark Wayne is. You're not old enough to know who Billy Carter is.
Mm-mm.
Okay, Jimmy Carter,
Yeah.
the nicest president ever. Not the best president, but the nicest president ever. I think everybody would agree that he's a great example of life. Well, he had a
Hmm.
drunk brother named Billy,
Hell yeah.
and Billy wanted to make money off his brother, peanut farming brother Jimmy, and so they created Billy Beer, and
Hmm.
it was like plain label beer, but the president's brother made it.
Okay.
Yeah, and Billy was always on the news because everybody has one of those relatives. So Mark Wayne isn't as stupid as he sounds.
No, isn't he like a successful financial
He'll
guy?
no plumber. He's a
Okay.
plumber. And I have nothing against plumbers. They make a lot of money. When I need them, and I need them right then. So I'm not dogging the guy for any of that kind of stuff. Um, but I don't know what the deal is down here. It's almost we pride ourselves on being stupid.
The
You know,
hilarious part was he got so angry and he yells in that congressional hearing, like, gimme, instead of gimme a break, Sean, he yells out, gimme a joke.
right?
So all the late night hosts were like, I don't know, you want us to tell you a joke?
You want a long joke, short joke? Look, so he basically said that he would be in jail if it weren't for his wife loving him. I don't even know what that means, but somebody was covering up a crime, is what he admitted to on national TV. Dude, we've got Ryan Walters attacking immigrant kids now, and you want me to read off some of this weird shit that they want to do for kids? This is pre-K,
Is
okay?
this like the email that he sent out, or
Oh
is this
no,
something
no,
else?
way worse. This is just next level shit.
Hmm.
So they want to change curriculum. Now,
Okay.
pre-K in America is 4 year olds. Okay,
Hmm.
so they want the teachers to switch from good, the topic of good citizenship. What
Uh-huh.
sounds wrong with that to start with? So they want to add respecting property rights, patriotism, and they want you to accept authority figures for their importance. That's the only way you can read that shit.
I know.
These are these are 4 year olds, and this is a guy who obviously has never been around his own kids. Or you would know that 4 year olds, you know what they really want is a really good snack and they want to go play.
There is a movie, I can't remember the name of it. It's about this little child who was
Yeah.
part of Hitler's youth army.
Youth, right?
Okay. But it's the end of the war and
Yeah.
Hitler's already lost. And it's about what this kid is up to. Like towards the end, they hand the little child a gun and he's like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah.
That is how this all sounds.
So so obviously it's Project 2025 Heritage Foundation based stuff. The the thing is this is all written by these old geezer men. And I don't want I get tired of saying old white dudes, but these are old geezer men who they have the part of their hair down here and it's dyed horribly black and it's pulled over. The generation they lived in, they believed that schools were better and they believed that their life was better. And what we all have to put to the end of that sentence is that's because of segregation. So you were only around people just like you.
Yeah. Aren't these old
And
men like have one foot in the grave? Why the hell are they dictating what kids are studying in school?
so between COVID and the explosion of Black Lives Matters and the downfall of the Democratic Party, just moving away from anything that mattered. And I think it's fair to say
Hmm.
you and I had been calling that for years, and you go, I get that everybody wants to have feelings and stuff, but you're in charge of a government. and other people are assholes, and you got to deal with them, you know. And so I think it was just an opportune time, and they got a lot of money from this electronics manufacturer out of Chicago. He left $1.5 billion when he died to promote conservative causes. So all of a sudden, like here, this OCPAC thing with all the septuagenarians and octogenarians, for those of you watching for language skills, that's 70-year-olds and 80-year-olds, that place became flush with money, and they never got paid before. When they were a volunteer organization, they didn't do shit. It just didn't. Now they got money, and now they can pay people to do stuff. Now they can pay themselves. And, you know, you got a full-time job just going out and screwing with everybody. You've got a lot of time to do it. And if you can afford airtime and giving people money. And remember, we had Citizens United in America. So you can donate whatever you want through a PAC. It's just, you know, corporations can donate whatever they want and just kind of hide behind it. So we have changed. Here's my thing. Let's go back to the governor thing real quick, okay? The video did okay. People having to click through to YouTube's is always a pain, but it did okay. If we just roll it on the other stuff, we'll see how it does. But look, the challenge here now is I've been in Oklahoma for 25 years. And for 25 years, instead of working class people having a say in anything, the wealthy 5% have had to say in everything. And I'm surrounded by these folks, so I'm not bad-mouthing them. I mean, God bless you if you made money, and I would want to keep all the money I made, right? I mean, you're the same way. But there's got to be a balance in there. So 25 years, the pendulum swing has gone all the way out here to the right. And now we just have stupid people in government because it's straight party voting. And it's just all you got to do is get through the primary. You know, we're at a crux here that I'm legit. And I know we're the example state. So I do realize I'm in a microcosm of what will go to all of America pretty soon. But I mean, I don't know what to do about it. You know, you and I joke about the governor thing all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, if you ran, what's your slogan? Are you tired of this shit?
That would be the best slogan. I think that should be the slogan.
That's your slogan. Aren't you tired of this shit? You know, the same people, we sell people on this idea that they're going to eventually be wealthy. And the only way most people are going to be wealthy is the lottery. I mean, it's a rarity anymore that somebody in America starts off at the bottom rung and makes it to the top rung. And when they do, we all go, hey, cool, that's the American dream. My father-in-law was an orphaned Native American kid that was in a Baptist orphanage, and he got adopted by the mayor and his wife of Pawhuska, Oklahoma. Okay? Yeah. He ends up getting into the oil business. And his biggest year was $20 million, but that was back in the 80s. So it'd be like 50 million now. That's the American dream, the real one. Like, he was Native American. He made it in here with all the whiteys. He did just as well and made money. We want everybody to succeed, but that's not really how it works.
But also, as much as people say that anybody can do anything, like start a business and stuff like that, there are these invisible barriers to entry, where people don't talk about them for the sole reason that they're like people didn't want competition. They still exist. Like, I run into that at times where, like, recently there was a manufacturing company I was talking to out in Chicago.
Right.
All I needed them to do was test a part and issue a certificate saying that this is fine. It works. Yeah. Right. Like, this is legitimate and we have run our analysis on it.
Is this the German part deal that we talked about?
Yeah. This is a weird thing where the thing is that it goes into like defense projects, the part. So that's why we needed this certification. And for that, they wanted to run a background check, understandable, credit check, and a deposit of like 10 or 15 grand to finish the test. And I was like, what do you need all this for? You'll have the entire inventory at your warehouse, because it basically gets shipped sealed to them, Sean. So they open it and pick out random parts and test it, which means that they hold our entire inventory in their warehouse. I'm like, what the fuck do you need this 10 grand for?
Isn't that crazy? So what I would say from my perspective, because consulting on restaurants and opening restaurants myself. So for this restaurant right here,
Yeah.
including my employee licenses, we have about 35 licenses to open. 35.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no reason for it. And this is from a guy that's liberal. You just go, why do we need all this stuff? And it's just incremental ways for the state to make more money. But so ours now are mostly applied online.
Yeah.
But you don't get notifications back if anything's wrong.
Oh, that is when you have to go meet a guy to figure out what document.
There's nobody to go meet.
Oh.
Like, you end up having to call a senator or a House member to call over and get a meeting finally. My wife literally was dying of stage 4 cancer, and I had to bring her down to liquor control so they could see her that we were switching the license up. And literally she was down to 80 pounds. I mean, it was tragic.
Like Sean, if these people were from Oklahoma, no one there actually doesn't know Kathy. This is just them being dicks and making your life miserable because of things you do politically, is my guess.
Right. It may have something to do. But the first time she ran for lieutenant governor, she was on this show called Flashpoint. That's neither a flash nor a point. It's 3 old white dudes. I mean, it is. It's just 3 old white dudes. So she's on there and she rolls out this scroll of licenses she has to have to open a restaurant. And the guy on the other side was like, why are you not a Republican? She goes, because I don't like what you all do. But I still don't want to have to do all these licenses. This is ridiculous. Okay, we got a lady named Standridge here. Her husband used to be a senator, and he seemed like he was a reasonably decent guy. And he's a right-winger, and he used to be on this morning radio show called Mitchell in the Morning, and we used to be on there with him doing food and stuff. Right.
I've met him.
Rob Standridge. Well, so his wife puts out a bill to make it illegal to help homeless people anywhere except Oklahoma City and Tulsa. You have to have a city of over 300,000 to be able to help homeless people.
Oh, my God.
And this is going to be international headlines. It'll be to you guys here shortly. Right-wing Christians, of course. Hateful Jesus. This hateful Jesus thing, I'm about up to here with hateful Jesus. There isn't
this do, and they just like, all right, I'm going to write this bill.
Yeah. So I got to be down at the Capitol for a press conference at 10. I know I sound really important today. I'm not. But I've got to be there for a press conference. But I think I'm going to go sit in her office and ask for a little chat. And then they'll go, well, she's busy. And I'll go, well, I'll wait because I don't have anywhere to be.
Sean, you have this uncanny way of making a nuisance of yourself. Especially in government buildings. I don't know why you have this.
So here's the difference. And I really mean this for anybody that listens. And maybe this is the short clip that we pull out as a teaser. The difference between myself and everybody else is I walk into a government building and I know I own part of that. Yeah. And they think they're visitors. You're not a visitor. We paid for it. These jackasses are just working there. They don't own anything. If you really want to show how important you are, get one of those aluminum cases that has a clipboard on the front and wear a tag with your name on it. Nondescript. Don't say where it's from or anything. You'll walk in anywhere you want. You're the boss. Look, everybody is, the first time you go to the Capitol, you're like, oh my God, that's such a cool building. Oh my goodness. And then eventually you go, oh, there's a bunch of assholes work here. But there's also a bunch of really nice people. I am bizarrely well recognized out there.
I can imagine.
Right. Yeah, it's almost awkward. So if you can later today, write me a few questions for her. We'll throw a little Jon Stewart interview if she will actually talk to me. Because look, my thing is, I still go to Catholic Church, so I get to say things about right-wing religions because mine has become a right-wing religion. Now, I struggle terribly with it. I won't lie. Struggle terribly with what my church is becoming. But that still gives me the platitude and platform to be able to talk to these folks on their level and go, show me where in the Bible it says that you don't have to help homeless people or visit people in jail. Because I remember there's a couple of things. Yeah, it's in the Bible. You're supposed to visit people in jail.
No. Does her bill have anything to do with that?
No, but that's what I'm going out there for a press conference. So I'm putting my two things.
Sorry, I just had like this complete brain fart, Sean. Sorry.
I know. Well, I was getting off there a little bit. Okay, let me read one more of these things. I know we're probably already at about 10 minutes, and I'm eating up a lot of time. Okay, first graders. Are you ready for this bullshit? This is first graders. We want you to read the biographies of our founding fathers and military leaders like Washington and Jefferson. First grade. Because, what you guys call it a CV, your resume really matters to a first grader. The dads haven't even come to school yet to tell you what they do for a living, and now they allow moms to do that. I don't know if you know that. They allow moms. All right, let me read the rest of this. Will include stories from ancient Israel, Greece, Rome, such as Moses and the Ten Commandments, and the Greek democratic city-states. This is for first graders. You know what first graders do? They like to take naps, and they have to go to the bathroom about 20 times a day, and they like to go outside and play, and they like to make friends and have a best friend. That's what first graders do.
Come on, Sean. They might learn some military strategy by reading George Washington's biography for some reason.
Right.
Way to put an entire classroom in a coma at 9 a.m. Just read one of those pages.
I know. It's interesting. It's interesting to me where we're going to end up with all of this stuff. So, oh well. That's what I'm doing today is that. And then I was doing some recordings for a county commissioner.
You have a full day of fuckery planned ahead. What I tell.
Well, it's my day off, and I'm going out of town next week, so I got to get some stuff accomplished. So it is. So what do you want to do with this governor thing? How far do we want to take this, and how far do we want to troll it? And tell me what your ideas are. I honestly
think that you should actually do it for that sole reason. Like, do it as a joke. Like, if you win, you win. If you don't win, you don't win. But just be a pain in the ass to whoever's running against you.
I am at this point. I'm so frustrated with all of this. I'm on the fence still, just because it's a lot of work that I'm busy already. Let me ask you this: so. Would you run as an independent or a Democrat, or would you run in the Republican primary? Just switch parties. Now, let's have an honest conversation here. From a strategic standpoint,
I think it would make most sense to run as an independent.
Right.
And the only reason...
Because then you're not associated with either party, and you don't have to be.
Yeah, and also you don't want to get into that. You don't want to get into the pigsty and hash it out in a fucking primary with Republicans. And I don't mean it in a mean way.
Whatever that party is now in Oklahoma, because
you are going to get dirty.
It's weird.
Get into that primary race.
Right.
Running as a Democrat, 90% is not going to vote for you, and there is no point in running as a Democrat in Oklahoma at all.
I think if I ran as a Democrat, what happens is you're already labeled as a Democrat, so people aren't they're just not even going to listen.
Mm-hmm.
Even to somebody like me that is obviously I just attack corruption. I don't give a shit which side you're on. I'm coming after you either way. But
helping kids in school, paying off their lunch debt. What kind of asshole will do that?
That's the commercial right there. What kind of an asshole is this guy? Oh my God. Oh, feeding little kids. Who would do such a thing? Well, I know as an independent, there's no chance of winning. So that solves a lot of problems, because I don't know if I want the job. You know what? Here's the thing. In politics, you really do want the person that doesn't want the job.
Yeah. Those are the guys except in certain cases, one comes to mind about someone on the 20th. But then beside that, if you don't want the job, you are the ideal person to run. I mean, to make that place better.
Because then you just manage it. Yeah, you just manage the business and you move on. And, it's not all that.
Even as an independent, you'll get to say what is actually on your mind and what is good for people and government.
And I'm in the debates. I'll kick everybody's ass in a debate. I have no qualms whatsoever.
You don't have to stick to party lines like fucking pre-put out statements that you're supposed to read out when you ask certain questions, that kind of thing. It'll
No, you
make
can
for
just laugh at them and go, "Do you guys believe this bullshit? Do you believe that they're trying to?" Yeah, it could be chaos central.
Yeah. And Sean, if people know anything about you, me, and one more Matt Bennett, we love chaos.
Like the chaos, man. Well, you know what? Creativity comes out of chaos. And government is chaos because you're trying to get 10 people in a room and you've got 2 pounds of meat and everybody wants a piece.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I think I'll still look at this. I'm not sure how much time I want to spend on it, but I think we could come up with a 6-county strategy as an independent to make it national on accident. But man, dude, that's a lot of pressure.
I know,
You know what I mean?
That's
a lot of pressure.
I was talking to a friend of mine who happens to be a writer, and I was telling her about this, and she was like, "Oh shit, we should just write like an introduction speech for his press release and convince him through that." And I was like, "Sure, knock yourself out when you have time. I'll come and join you."
So let's see what it looks like. I can read it in German. We will make the children be students. Dude, this is too much. My thing is I'm like in my 60s. I'm going to be 62 this year. You know what I want to do? Nothing. That's what I want to do is nothing. There's just too many people to go punch.
Come on,
and they
Sean,
don't let you actually
good of humanity.
Right. When you talk to your friend, go just let's do some taglines. But I really think if we move forward with this, "Aren't you tired of this shit?" needs to be the campaign slogan.
Yeah.
And do we do the Anthony Bourdain T-shirt for that?
I would, because I actually have that picture somewhere of you doing that to me.
Right. And I mean, I'm not necessarily against it. So the question is if Walters gets in or not. I think that's going to be the last thing. I got to see whether he didn't get picked for Trump's cabinet. So he's just off the rails. And I don't know if he's so far off that his numbers don't work. But there was a poll this morning from a guy that was pretty respectable about the governor's race. And Walters wasn't on the list. And I'm like, dude, this isn't a legitimate poll if Walters isn't on the list.
Yeah. You think he's actually going to do a full-on campaign at this point?
I think he is backed by enormous money out of Dallas, Texas. And John, it's the two guys.
I have told you this at McClintock's almost maybe 5 or 6 years. I am so sure that was Walters sitting with Roger Stone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's so look, he was a tennis coach from McAlester, Oklahoma, whose dad was a bank vice president. Now, that doesn't make you the rich kid in town, but it makes you a better off kid in town. Yeah. He behaves just like a tennis playing son of a banker from a small town. And he wants to have a name for himself. Look, he lives in a $300,000 house. That's not that impressive. Somebody sent me all of his mortgage papers. I mean, people send me shit about this guy you cannot imagine.
I love that. Can you imagine being a person so universally hated that even employees that you deal with out of context, like my phone guy who comes in, who checks my phone bill, just sends you my bill and is like, "Sean, go through this." That jackass's bill is in my hand.
They take a snap of it and send everything to me. Yeah. He has no idea the depth of stuff that people have, but he also doesn't care. He literally doesn't care how much stuff there is out there. And if you're a person in his position that is a useful idiot, because you've watched him speak. I mean, he ain't the brightest thing in the world. Now, if he's talking to a religious crowd, he knows how to rile them up.
Oh, yeah. He has those
he's got that.
Those preachers with the he's got them.
Yeah. The Lions Den, these old white guys are still there. It's their last vestige of shots of testosterone to come out and act like they're tough. So anyway, we'll keep talking about it. Send me the clip on that other deal, and I'll let you know how this thing goes with Standridge today. But I think I got to do an office visit, don't I? I mean, if I'm at the Capitol,
Don't we have a t-shirt guy in Oklahoma who can print you a t-shirt that just said, "What would Jesus do?" and just stand and stare at her?
There's got to be a place to buy one of those, isn't
I
there?
know. Sean, we're in the Bible Belt. You should be able to find a damn t-shirt that says.
I mean, can't I just go to a craft store and buy the letters WWJD and just put it on
Oh,
any
yeah.
shirt? I mean, okay, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
God, I got to see if they open at 9 a.m., I can do that. But if they open at 10, I've got to be at the press conference by then. So,
But just make sure that you give someone a phone if someone's there and just tell them, even if this person doesn't agree to talk to me, take a
Right.
picture of me just facing them with this t-shirt on from behind that idiot, like the person. Sean,
All right,
I don't have
buddy.
to tell you camera direction. I am too.
No, I'm good. I'm
You know
good on that
this.
stuff. Well, Mark Falk will be with me. He'll walk up there and do whatever we need to do. Look, here's the thing. So the reason they want to do that is then all the homeless people are in the Democratic areas, and they get to blame Democrats for homelessness, rather than the fact that our minimum wage here is $7.65 an hour. $7.65. Still, you know what it was when I moved here 25 years ago? $7.65. Okay.
Oh, when I was a research assistant at UCO during my master's, that was
That what
my
they gave
hourly
you?
wage rate.
It's like prison wages now, man. Can't buy shit with it. All right. Let me get out of here and get my day started. You have fun. Tell your